Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Bonus Podcast. I'm your host, Savanna Nicole Boda.
My lord, I am Tyler.
What's your middle name?
John.
Jacoby.
Jacoby. You didn't ask for my last name.
Oh, I thought you were laying down what I was putting up.
Okay.
What?
Picking up what I was laying down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, Tyler, John, Jacoby, TJJ.
Okay.
Part 2 of questions that I have to sift through, so be patient with me, guys, because it's like half full-blown topics and half questions. So, well,
You want to do a life update? While you do that, I'll do a life update while you find good questions.
okay.
Okay. So, it's the new year, and I'm trying to think what's new and exciting in my life right now.
You had Christmas, like Cyrus's first, like, real Christmas, because he wasn't 2 weeks old.
Yeah, which was good. He got so many toys. I got to see my family.
Yeah, she hosted present opening at her house.
Like a big girl.
She's an adult.
Full-fledged adulthood right here. It was good. We got some good gifts. Lance got me some really nice stuff that I wasn't expecting. So yeah, he got me a little Chanel purse, which was so pretty. And then
just know, guys, that I am the mastermind, but I am not the credit card. So
he really helped.
I'm good at pointing in the direction.
Yes.
And then what else has happened?
You have to tell the story about Josh's situation, since we're talking about this story. You guys, is the funniest story I've ever heard, and you have to hear it.
I don't think it's okay. It's funny,
it's
but
so
it's like
funny. It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's crazy and ridiculous and wild. But please tell this story. I'll hold these for you.
Okay, so basically, my friend Josh, we've talked about him a couple times. Savanna likes to remind y'all that he's down here, she's up here. He was invited to play with the Baltimore Symphony. And so he has a friend who plays bassoon, is the principal, and they invited him to come play. And so he went there, and his friend that he went to Juilliard with told him, like, no, please stay with us. Like, we don't want you to have to, like, pay for a hotel room, because when you're going to play with another symphony, but you have to, like, get a hotel and everything, it's like, is it really worth the money? Because you're, like, paying...
Yeah, to stay there.
You stay there and everything. So they were like, just stay with us. Like, we'd love to host you, blah, 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 blah. So he stays there for, I think it was they Tuesday through Sunday night or something like that, like 5 days. And they basically cooked at the house every day. They just kind of went back and forth to rehearsals and stuff like that. So when he's leaving, they send him...
I have to pull it up. It's so funny.
It's going to be so hard to find. We text a lot. They send him a whole... They
an itemized list.
Well, no. They didn't start off with the itemized list. They were like, okay, can you just send us like $256.13 for everything you use throughout this week? And he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what the fuck? Because I don't know if it's like Southern hospitality or what, but like if you're...
It's weird. Like if someone if I was like, hey Tyler, like your house flooded, like you can come stay with me for 2 weeks, I wouldn't like be like, okay, this is how much you owe me for like living here.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's like, especially when you like...
It's like unspoken. Like it wasn't like they asked up front for money from him.
Yeah, and like it's not like they told him like, oh, like they asked him to stay there. And so it was just like... So then he was like, oh, and like it was like a lot of money too. And so it's going to be so hard to find it.
Find it. I believe in you because you found it for me once.
I know, but I wasn't under the pressure of telling the story and sifting through my phone. But okay, I think I found it. Oh my gosh. Wait a second. I found it.
Oh, it's so good, you guys. It's the funniest shit you'll ever hear.
Okay.
It's my favorite story.
So he was like, oh, sure, but like, can you like send me an itemized list of like what went into this because I'm a little confused. This list, y'all, is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to start with least ridiculous and go on to most ridiculous.
Okay, perfect. Let's go.
Okay, so like 2 salmon steaks, $13.98. So like I guess they cooked salmon for one night, charged him for it. Beef patties, $5. Protein powder, $7.33.
Not the 33 cents.
How do you calculate that? Like there's that protein powder is literally in like a tub this fucking big. Like how do you calculate that? $7.49 for sausage. In parentheses, we had 2 of these. $2.99 for mozzarella. $9.99 for chicken. Again, used $10 that night. $9 for frozen salmon. So we have more salmon. That's
Lots
the second salmon on the list. $1.39 for mushrooms. And I don't know if you guys can get a visual of this, but this is the itemized list. Very long. So let's get into some more ridiculous ones. $1.48 for olive oil.
So they're like calculating what they use to cook meals that they all ate.
Like, and that's like olive oil. Like that's just like a pantry staple.
It's
like,
weird to charge someone for olive oil.
What's another weird
Toilet
one?
paper.
50 cents for garlic. Like garlic cloves. 50 cents. Like talk about, this is the definition of nickel and diming someone. Pennying. Because they're doing $13.98. That's the phrase, nickel and diming someone, but they're pennying it.
Yeah, they're pennying him for sure.
83, this is the most ridiculous one. 83 cents for toilet paper. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's
83
so
cents.
funny.
83 cents.
83 cents for toilet paper.
Like, did they go and like count how many sheets?
My ego wouldn't, like, if I like was doing this and like someone stayed with me, like I could understand like the salmon patties, like I could understand some of it, but like my ego would not let me be like, hey, could you pay me 83 cents for toilet paper?
For the toilet paper you
like, I feel like that would just like really crush me.
Like, did you count how many times I took a fat shit? Like, what is going on? And like,
so funny.
Toilet paper is like, you
That's
get
like you don't go to like a public restroom and they're like, oh,
yeah.
you use toilet paper, 83 cents.
No, exactly.
Like that's a weird thing to charge someone for.
And like,
do they charge it for like laundry detergent and stuff?
They charge them for dry cleaning.
Okay,
so,
that's nice.
I don't know what. But yeah, $1 for Poland Spring Seltzer, $10.39 for Kettle One Botanicals. Is that like alcohol? $3.79 for Tito's. Like, were they counting his shots? Like, I'm like, and then after she sent this list, she proceeded to send screenshots in the Whole Foods app of every single item to prove the price of it. Every single item. So like for the longest time, we have like a group chat where we had the profile picture of it as the cherry tomatoes. Like that was the profile picture because like you're charging someone for cherry tomatoes. Like I don't know. It's just a very crazy story to us because
we could never do that to someone.
I mean, it's just like if you're going to host someone, y'all, and you're going to be like this, you should probably be upfront with it. And maybe you're just not meant for hosting people because it's pretty bad practice.
Like,
honestly.
I would be like, why did you fucking invite me?
Yeah, no, for real.
Like, why did you invite me? Like, I'd understand. Like, I mean, I understand. I think it'd be nice for him to have been like, thank you guys so much for letting me stay. Like, can I give you some money for the food that you cooked? But I think it's just weird that they're like, how intense and deep it got was just like way too far. But I do think like I personally, if someone hosted me, like I'd be like, is there any way I can pay a little bit for the food for you guys taking care of me and stuff? Like I personally would have offered that.
You would offer that? And then the people would
probably say
never,
no. Yeah.
Never.
Like, you're a
oh
guest.
my gosh, yeah.
But I think offering it is always nice.
And then they like she proceeded to text him, I'm not trying to nickel and dime you, just send you basically what was used, period. Like, I don't know, that list to me kind of comes off as nickel and diming. However, to each their own, I guess. But yeah, that was our fun little story of Savanna was just really sent over the moon by that story.
I thought it was so funny.
She thought it was so funny.
The toilet paper and the garlic, honestly, and the olive oil was my favorite. honestly.
olive oil, like alcohol, like
Just
are
weird.
are
I
we
would have been
literally?
even funnier if they were like hand soap. Like this is the amount of hand soap that you used.
Yeah, I guess they assumed.
Or like the water bill or like electricity. Like
yeah, no. In their message, they said, and this isn't including electricity and utilities. They said that.
bullshit.
No, they literally said that. And they were like, but don't worry about that.
They're like, oh, thanks.
And then they had the audacity to tell Josh, but if you need to wait until like next paycheck or something, that's totally fine. Like, bitch, don't act like I'm the broke one in this situation when you're asking 83 cents for toilet paper. Like, clearly y'all got the money problems. I'll send you the money. I just spit everywhere.
That's okay. I didn't see
But
it.
You'll.
That's really funny.
Yeah, they're like,
but don't worry if you're too broke to pay us.
yeah, just wait till your next paycheck or whenever you can is fine. Like, bitch, you charged me 83 cents for toilet paper.
Like, goddamn. Yeah, I could never. I understand maybe some of the meat. If I was going through hard times, I can understand being like, hey, it's like a lot of food to like cook and host you.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was going through hard times, I would never have offered for someone to stay with me. If I put it like, I feel like when you're hosting, like you're doing it with the expectation of like not getting anything out of it. Like
Yeah.
you're just doing it to be nice.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't have offered if I felt like, because that's awkward, you know?
Like, imagine if we went to a holiday party and they're like,
before you leave, here's our Venmo.
Yeah,
You could be like, you had 3
exactly.
shots, you ate a croissant,
No,
you ate a piece of
literally.
pizza, so this is how much you owe, Venmo here.
crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Crazy.
Okay, let's get into these skincare questions, guys.
I love how someone just said more skincare stuff. Like, girl, your whole everything is skincare stuff. I don't think you're
Not
missing.
always. Sometimes the podcasts are more fun without skincare, but I think people like the skincare.
Okay, fair. Top 5 products to use. It says during a microneedling session, but I assume they mean after. I'm assuming.
So, especially for higher Fitzpatricks and people of color, you want to hydrate a lot topically. So you want to be using hyaluronic acid, good moisturizer, really just making sure you're keeping hydration and humectants in the skin. But I mean, other than that, I just use the home care from Skin Pin, the lift and the rescue.
I'm surprised you're not talking about Alto.
You can, but I mean,
Is it not like
well, I mean, Skin Better says you can do it, but it's not Skin Pin protocol.
okay?
But Ulta is really good for reducing redness. And I used to do that a lot, but now that I'm a Skin Pin ambassador, I don't do it.
Should we tell a funny story right now
What's the funny story?
about what you told me to put on my face?
We can't tell that story.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Okay.
Tyler, gonna get me in trouble.
I didn't think about it. Well, okay. She told me to put a serum on my face
It was for funsies.
after I did it, and it was the worst pain, guys, I've ever felt in my life. Like, I'm not joking. I could probably.
Okay, but I was testing it. Remember how we talked about a couple podcasts ago, like to learn and experience things, always try it on a friend or your mom. Tyler was a friend, and that's why I put it on him. Well, he was actually an employee, and that's why I
Yeah.
put it on him. So I wouldn't have done this on anyone else.
No, she would have never done this on anyone.
it was an
But let me
experiment
tell
on
you,
Tyler.
I thought, no, it was as if sulfuric acid had been dumped in a vat on my face. Like, my eyes immediately burst into tears. It was like, I've never, I would rather you do like the whole bottle of a phenol peel on my face than ever do that again. Like, it was the worst. But I will admit, my face was not red the next day. However, it was just, woo. But yeah, don't stick to gentle things on your
Yeah,
face.
be gentle after microneedling for sure.
Because your face is a giant open wound.
Yep,
It was-
anything you put in it.
it
And
would
that's
be-
why you want to be careful and not put too many crazy things because it could keloid or cause any kind of infection or reaction. So you
Yeah,
want to be
that
careful.
was just a little fun story. Sorry.
Was it?
I think it was fun.
Okay.
Again, we talked about it. You like to experiment.
Yeah. I did.
She's a little chemist.
Just a little chemist. Shotty a little baddie. Shotty my little chemist.
Best ways to repair the skin barrier.
So for skin barrier repairing, number 1, you want to stop exfoliating, stop any acids, and be super gentle with your skin. You can look for something if you need to exfoliate, like a PHA, a polyhydroxy acid. It's going to be more gentle, or a lactic acid, low concentration, low percentage. You want to use barrier repair ingredients. The tetramethylhexadecyl cysteine is a really good complex. It's the lipid serum from Epicurus. I love it. And it's really good for lowering inflammation and helping repair that barrier and that stratum corneum. And then also, too, hydration. Obviously, hydrating and calming serums. CBD is really good. Niacinamide is good. I also really love using hyaluronic acid, beta-glucan, squalene, glycerin. Any kind of humectant is really good. And then, of course, ceramides, essential fatty acids, supplements can help a ton with barrier repair and just really making sure you're protecting it from the sun. So reapplying your sunscreen. If you have a damaged barrier, your skin's going to like mineral sunscreen way more than chemical sunscreen. So definitely want to use that. Cream cleansers, gentle cleansers with no acids, no foaming cleansers, just really good like gel or cream cleansers are great.
And the only thing I would say is when like my face gets like raw or red or anything like that, I love like using like Trio or like anything with like a bunch of ceramides, like my Hydro Balance, all the hydrating stuff. But then using the cell protection balm,
an occlusive on top,
like that shit just
seals it in.
Like literally, like within 2 or 3 days, my skin is like really back to normal. But I do have a question. How do you like deal with it when you're super acne prone and like in order to kind of help repair the barrier, you have to take the actives out, but then you're just gonna like.
So it's hard, but I try to have just a little bit of exfoliation in there to help with that sebaceous flow and help, stop that acne and the retention and hyperkeratosis. So the best thing to do is to have a little bit sandwiched in between. So let's talk face reality. So if you're a damaged barrier and you're my client and you have acne, okay? What I'm going to do is I'll do Hydro Balance first, which is a hydrating serum, and then I'll do the lowest percent of Mandelic, the Mandelic 5%, and then I'll do Hydro Balance again after that. So I'm going to sandwich that active between 2 hydrating serums so that it's not as like intense and it's more tolerable. And then I'd maybe do it every other day or, as often as you can without overstripping that skin.
Do you think that SCs should have 1 to 3 specialty areas of focus or be well-versed?
It depends what your goals are. I think everyone has different goals. For me, I know I do better when I have a very clear focus on what I'm doing. And I just like corrective skincare. So if it has to do with corrective hyperpigmentation, scarring, acne, aging, like that's my thing. Now I could be even more specific with that and just do acne or just do hyperpigmentation. But that really limits you for long-lasting clients because you're always going to have a revolving door, right? For a while when I was strictly just really doing acne, once this, their skin would get clear and stuff like that. You distracted me by handing me a text message. I'm working. But anyways, when their skin would get clear and things like that, it would, be just them at home maintaining with home care. And so it'd be really difficult. But now that I'm doing more corrective stuff, I can help with other issues like scarring after the acne and hyperpigmentation and then in general anti-aging.
Okay. What are the best treatments for rosacea?
I love stem cell microneedling. I think it's an amazing treatment. And then lactic acid peels are amazing. And any kind of calming facials I love for rosacea. Lasers are great as well. IPL and things like that.
Okay. We're gonna take a little brief pause. Okay. What are the biggest struggles of being a solo SD or business owner?
I think it gets lonely. Sometimes I've had that issue in the past where like I cross boundaries and want to talk to people during the day, like, one of my staff members or things like that, because it gets lonely and you want someone to kind of like vent to or just, have a little break of some normalcy and not just feel like you have to be the esthetician or the boss like all day long. So I think that's the hardest part is now I've learned that like I can't do that. And it really is, boundaries. I can't cross or intermingle that relationship because it just doesn't work. And I think that's the hardest part. It's just lonely. You are the only, like they all have each other, like all my employees, and I'm going to do a podcast about this actually soon. They all have each other. They're able to vent to each other, go out and drink with each other after work. Like they have that closeness, that bond, that relationship. And I'm like the odd man out. So I think, at the end of the day, like there are a lot of perks to being the owner, but I'm sensitive and I like people, and I, sometimes wish I could be one of the girls.
Yeah. No.
I get FOMO.
Yeah, she does. Like that's what Savanna has a hard time with that because
The boundaries are really difficult because I just want to be friends with them. I mean, I spend more time with them than I spend with my own son or my own husband, know?
And like she'll see that they're doing something outside of work or something like that, and she'll like spiral and think that they fucking hate her. But like at the end of the day,
I don't spiral and think that they hate me.
But like I'm being dramatic.
You're being so dramatic right now.
Dramatic for podcasts. But like I mean, even like little stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like
no. I don't aspire. I like that they hang out together. I think I just like there's a part of me that like in another universe wishes that like I was able to be a part of that, but I know the reason I'm not, and I know that I shouldn't be, and that I don't want to be, Yeah. But like I don't think they hate me. Obviously, I'm their boss. I can't be there.
No, I know, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't, because I don't think they hate me when they hang out without me.
Okay.
But I do think that it's hard, and then I think there's also a part of you where you're going to have those insecurities that like, oh, are they going to talk about work, or, do they actually like me? I think that's more of what you're trying to say is like, I don't spiral when they're together, but sometimes I spiral just in general because I have a fear. I just like being liked, and I want them to like me, and I treat them really well. And you don't really know what happens behind closed doors or how they truly feel about me. And so that can be, definitely hard.
I feel like that's exactly what I was saying, but go off.
No, I mean, you're saying that when they hang out together, I'm like over here like, oh my God, they hate me. Oh my God, like you're making me sound like a fucking little pussy.
Okay, no.
I'm not.
That's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to say what you were saying.
Like, no,
I just phrased it
don't
wrong.
care that much. Jeez.
No, yeah, you don't.
I want them to be friends.
Yeah, you definitely do.
I just sometimes wish I could be one of the girls.
Yeah, you just get like FOMO.
Yeah, just like, but it's like I get it, but it's like part of me wishes that I could be there. God, make me sound like such a little pussy ass bitch over here, Tyler. Damn.
I thought we weren't going to be mean to each other.
I said you are making me sound like a pussy.
I know, but you're yelling at me.
I don't think I yelled.
How to learn the money side of the business, taxes, paying yourself, etc.
Took me a long time to learn all that, and honestly, I make Lance do it. I'm going to be very real. I don't care about, I mean, I care because it affects me and it affects my business, but like, I would rather not do it. And if I did it, I'd give me a lot of stress. And so Lance does it for me.
Yeah. If she had to run payroll tomorrow,
I would know how to do it if I Googled it, but I don't want to. It's more of a, like, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm more than capable of doing taxes and payroll. Do I want to do it? No. Do I pretend like I don't know how to do it so I don't have to do it? Yeah. 100%.
You're smart like that.
Oh, yeah. Manipulative? A little bit.
A little bit.
When it comes to things I don't want to do, I learned that at a very young age. If you don't want to do something, do it really fucking bad, and no one will ever ask you to do it again.
Or pretend that you just don't know how.
No, I think more of like, because then they're like, no, we'll teach you. And then you try it. You just have to do it really bad. They're like, yeah, don't have her do that again. Like, let's see. When I worked at Fish City, they wanted me to write the daily specials on the chalkboard, and I hated doing it. Hated it. And so I'd write it so bad, like it looked like a serial killer wrote it. Like a really just horrible, like slanted, just terrible. And they never made me do it again. So.
Tips on how to find love.
I think love finds you. I don't think you find it. I think love comes to you when you're least expecting it. I don't think it's something that you seek out. And I think, too, it's all about that law of attraction and the energy you put out. When you're in a good place and you're happy with yourself, you're going to attract love and people that want to love you. And confidence. You have to be confident in yourself and love yourself. You can't just look for love to make you complete. You have to be complete before you find love.
How to stay focused on your goals.
I think write them down and make an effort every single day to strive towards them. I think writing it down keeps you accountable.
How to stay motivated when you're feeling down.
Think about how much better it is to feel down on a yacht.
Fair.
And go work.
Go work. We're kind of coming to the end here. Tips on dealing with a narcissist.
Well, I have a lot of experience with this, actually.
True.
But I think the best thing is to know that it's not you. Something or someone has made them this way, and the way they're acting has nothing to do with you as a person. It has everything to do with them. And I think having sympathy for them, like for me, the narcissist I have in my life, like they are the way they are because of their mother, and how neglected they were as a kid. And so I think for me, I have compassion and like obviously like this person could do work and like try to go to therapy, but they're not going to. But it's at that point where I do want them in my life. And so I have to learn how to love them for who they are. And I think it just comes with acceptance, and not letting them treat you poorly, but having boundaries and having distance and knowing like that there are things that I love about this person that I can get past, some of their narcissistic qualities. And just being strong, and at the end of the day, knowing like it has literally nothing to do with me. Like the way they're acting, I let it roll off my shoulders. I'm like, this has nothing to do with me and everything to do with them. And it doesn't make it less hard. It doesn't make it less annoying. But I think you just have to lower your expectations of that person. And I think that's truly what disappointment is when you have high expectations for somebody and they don't meet those expectations that you've already laid out for them. If you don't have expectations, you can't get hurt. So I just lower my expectations, and sometimes that person surprises me and they're a lot better than because I had no expectations. I'm like, oh, wow, or sometimes it's really bad. And I'm like, well, that's what I got today. So I think it's difficult, but I think it has to come down to like, is it blood or is this someone you can live without, and
not the blood comment again.
Well, I mean, it is. Are they blood? And I think that's the hardest part is when you have a narcissist that is blood and you have emotional ties to them. So it is hard to not cut them out completely, and you have to see them often and things like that. So yeah, I would just try your best to not take it personal and have boundaries with them and know that like it's not you. And also know that like they probably don't know. Like that's the one thing about narcissists is they usually don't know they're a narcissist. And if you tell them they're a narcissist, they're just gonna blow their fucking shit and talk. It's like, no, like that's like a nuke. Like, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell a narcissist they're a narcissist. Don't do it. I've done that. They will never know. And even if you tell them, they will never believe it. That's the thing is they're in denial. They're in complete denial and they think it's you. And so you just have to let them think it's you. You're like, you're right. I suck. Yep. But you know in your head that you don't.
Can you explain the importance of using medical grade products over the counter?
So the thing is medical grade isn't real, but professional grade is, which is physician dispensed or esthetician dispensed skincare that you can't just get at Sephora or at a store or, at a drugstore. So a lot of department store brands, like Estee Lauder, things like that, or things at drugstores, they go a lot of money into marketing, market. And they're not putting a lot of money into the formulations and ingredients, and they're not as exclusive. So what that means is they're not running as many tests on them. They're not doing as many advanced formulations because any Nick, Sam, and Joe can get these products. They're not special. They aren't highly active or highly formulated. Professional grade products, they have to be dispensed by a physician or an esthetician because they're so active that you need instructions on how to use them. Like you would hurt yourself just going and willy-nilly buying them off, Amazon or whatever it may be. And two, there's more research and development that goes into these products, more clinical studies, scientific data, just so much more that you're getting from professional products than you could ever get from Sephora, Ulta, drugstore.
Does self-tan on the face/body cause aging?
What?
Does self-tan on the face or body cause aging?
It can, with all the alcohols that are in there, can dry the skin for sure.
Do you have any new trend predictions when it comes to skincare or hair or makeup? 2023 prediction.
I definitely think like the 90s is coming back with bodies, for example. I think like stick board skinny is coming back, which is scary. And like little boobs, no butt. I hate that like our bodies are trends. Our bodies are not trends. Like I think that's fucked up. But I think like I looked the other day, I heard it on TikTok. It's called like heroin chic era is coming back, where everyone looks like strung out and like dark circles are gonna be cute, and like, which I will never have dark. Well, actually it might be on trend. I am sleepy all the time, but dark circles, just like, I don't know.
No instant effect eye for you.
No instant effect eye for me. But just like this like strung out 90s thing, I think is gonna be kind of trendy next. But I won't be participating as a thick woman with eye cream.
Okay.
I won't be in that trend, and that's okay.
Building confidence as as an introverted new esthetician. I literally shake while talking to clients right now.
I used to get like that too, and I think it just comes with confidence and time. You're not just going to be confident overnight. It's going to take time for you to feel like you believe what you're saying and you trust what you're saying. So just give yourself time to grow, and that's okay. I remember I used to want to throw up talking to clients because I felt so nervous.
Okay, the last one. What you use to prevent pregnancy stretch marks and any other pregnancy skincare recommendations?
So I used Super Serum from IS Clinical. I used CBD Mist, and I also used the Youth Body Serum. Those were my 3 staples on the body. And then for the face, I personally used retinol my entire pregnancy. And the reason is the amount of vitamin A in prenatals is so much more than could ever be topically absorbed from. Are you gonna yawn?
No.
Can see it.
No.
Than could ever be topically absorbed from a retinol cream. So knowing that just doesn't make sense. And then also the statement that retinol isn't safe for pregnancy is about isotretinoin, which is Accutane, which we all know has severe side effects and birth defects. Like, you cannot be pregnant and be on Accutane. Like, you cannot be trying to have a kid and be on Accutane. Like, your baby will be like all kinds of messed up if you get pregnant on Accutane. Like, it's a huge thing, a lot of birth defects. So with taking that knowledge of an oral vitamin A, they just kind of made an umbrella term. And of course, like, no pregnant person is going to be like, yeah, test on me. Like, you know, that no one's going to test on a pregnant woman. That's just so like not our ethics as a society.
Yeah.
So with my knowledge as an esthetician, knowing that the amount of vitamin A I'm putting on my face could not be as much that's topically absorbed from my prenatal that I'm taking, I'm going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you're uncomfortable, you can always use glycolic acid. You can use azelaic acid. You can use mandelic acid. Lactic acid. It's a lot of different things you can use.
Yeah. The big thing to know is that these like companies like Skin Better and stuff like that do not recommend these products for pregnancy because they can't test on it. So they obviously
they're not going to say to do it.
Yeah, they don't want to be held liable. But
no one wants to get sued for someone having an issue with their baby. And like pregnant women are psycho. Like I was. Like if anything happened to my baby, I'd point fingers at everything I did within the last like week and be like, it was because I went to this gas station or the pollution in the air. I mean, anyone's going to point fingers when something goes wrong with a fetus.
So I mean, always
just a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Talk to your physician
or your OBGYN.
Yeah, but that was all we had.
Yeah. I hope y'all liked this. Tyler and I are fine. We're just like kind of fighting today.
No, we're going to hold hands on the car ride home.
I didn't spiral, Tyler. Make me sound like a weak bitch.
No, okay, I wasn't trying to say that. I'm just saying like you just hope that they're happy and that they're always talking positive and stuff like that. You don't want there to be negativity in your business, and like it's hard to not know what goes on behind the scenes.
And that's hard. And I truly do agree with that because I am sensitive and I love being liked. Like when people don't, like 200,000 people could like me, but if 3 don't, like I'm focused on the 3 people that don't like me. And I'm like, why don't you like me? Like what? Tell me.
I'm
like, why don't you like me? I hate not being liked. That's like my biggest pet peeve. People ask my pet peeves. It's people that don't like me. Like there's no reason to not like me.
Okay. Back to the narcissist question.
I'm a nice person. I'm a good friend and I'm funny, but
I apologize for that. I misspoke. I phrased it the wrong way. You know what I meant.
I know what you meant, but it made me.
They don't know what I meant.
No, I know what you meant, but also you're making me look like a little oh my god, my stuff's hanging
out. No, you don't care.
But I do sometimes have been like, I wonder like if they just sit around and if they're just like, fuck Savanna, she's a fucking bitch, you know?
And
I think everyone has that thought about their staff.
That's just like, yeah, exactly.
And obviously, like, I'm not dumb. Like, I told them this the other day. I'm like, like one of the girls was like, we love you. And I'm like, yeah, but also I'm not stupid to know that like there's days where I'm manic and I go through a lot of stress and they're probably experiencing being really fucking annoying today. Like, and I was like, I am annoying sometimes. Like, I get that. Like, that's normal. Like, not everyone's going to talk. Like, at the end of the day, I'm the boss. People aren't going to love me every second.
Yep.
Like
that's not your job for them to love you. Yeah.
Which sucks, which I wish it was.
Yeah.
That's why,
but then they wouldn't respect you.
I know.
And that's that. You want them to respect you more than you want them to like you.
I can't remember who it was the other day that was like, if your staff thinks you're a bitch, you're doing something right.
It was a podcast or a book you were listening to?
I think it was a book. They're like, if your staff thinks you're a bitch, like then you're probably a really good boss.
Is that managing book you were reading? Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to be a bitch.
Yeah.
I want them to be like, Savannah's so nice. Savannah's so sweet. Savannah's just so loving. Savannah's just the boss. That's what I want them to say.
They do say that. I really think they do. Okay. And if they don't, they should go have a different boss and see the real world.
Yeah.
Because Savanna is actually a very good boss.
Thank you.
But we hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday.
Yeah.
We'll be doing, obviously, one of these again soon. Just like, here's my letter of recommendation to y'all. I kind of skip over the ones that we've answered a million times. So if you like go back and listen to our Q&As and then let's ask some like questions that we've never been asked before.
I want some like really like hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, and like maybe not even skincare, you know what I mean? Like,
I think the problem is like, the people that we
ask
ask.
Her shoe sizes. Send her shoes.
No, that's weird. I got broken up with once because a guy sent me shoes and he thought I was like a whore and like a hooker.
Wait, what?
Like, okay.
Yeah, you got me confused.
It's embarrassing.
Okay. You didn't tell the story about the first time, so I don't know. A guy sent you shoes and he thought you were...
I was on Twitter and I like made like a foot account.
Oh, no.
It was short-lived.
The stuff that comes out on the podcast, I've never heard this before.
I had like 2 followers, okay? And it was just my feet. And this one guy was like, I'll send you shoes. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
And then he sent me shoes. And my mom was like, who sent you these shoes from Alabama? And I was like, fuck. He was like, who sent you shoes, Savanna? I was like, I don't know. And he was like, let me see your phone. And he found my foot account. And he broke up with me and told me I was a slut.
You're like, Mama's got bills to pay.
I was always hustler.
You're taking me to McDonald's for dates. I want to be eating at Albernays.
Right?
these feet are going to pay, baby.
I know. But anyway, so it was short-lived. But anyways, okay. Love you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. And we'll see you next Monday.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.